Saw's not oiling. Two bad pumps? Could be. Let's dive in. So the Husqvarna 142 oil pump. It's not oiling. This is what the oil pump looks like when you pull it out, right? There's a little hole right there that the oil comes out, goes up the channel and into where the bar area is. This right here replaces the pickup filter, so it's just using a spring instead. Kind of a crazy design in my opinion. Anyway, this is the oil pump itself. This rubber piece, these get hard, brittle, crack, things like that. That needs to have a really good seal right here. But what it's doing is as this pump is working, it's taking the oil through, in through this spring area, in through this hose, and then comes out that little hole right there, and then up to the bar. Here's how this thing works. The motor drive gear is spinning this anytime the motor's turning, right? If you look real close in this hole, you can see, like an opening and closing, an opening and closing, things like that. And then if you watch this gap right here between this silver end and that end right there, you'll see it go in and out. See that? I'll show you why here in just a second. Here's another one that's suffering the exact same problem. So as this is spinning, you see it get close and further away, close, further away, close, further away. I'll show you what's going on. As this is spinning around, this collar right here is cut at an angle. You can kind of see it's high right now. Now it's low on this side. So as it's spinning around, it's riding on that pin right there, which by the way is pretty worn. Anyway, so that's what's driving it in and out. So the plunger is moving in and out while it's spinning. And then inside here is a flat spot, which is helping pull the oil in. And as this plunger goes to the bottom of the piston, it's helping push that oil out. So the little cutout helps, but basically the plunger going in and out is pulling and pushing oil. And this little flat spot kind of works as a check valve in sorts. Here's the thing. Both of these are used oil pumps. Both of these were off of running saws. Neither one was oiling properly, or actually one of them at all. So I want to show you why. Let's pull these apart. Just lifting it up. Pull those two apart. So, I mean, it's actually really loose. You can feel it. It's kind of loose. But we're going to prove it here in just a second. So this one's a little bit tighter. Still not great. I'm going to do my best because this caliper, it's kind of stained, so it's hard to read. But, so we'll take the very first one. Okay, so I'll read it out just in case you guys can't see it. But anyway, 4.47 millimeters, right? And then the bore, 4.52. So what is that? 0.05 millimeter variance, which is marginal. Ideally, you want these things to be somewhere about 0.03. At the maximum. So this one measures 4.45 millimeters, and the bore, let's spin it around, 4.51. So what is that, 6? I say 4.5, yeah, anyway, 0.06. Anyway, it's again beyond the what we feel is reasonable. And as I measured down it, that was actually the widest that I could get on this. There is spots on this that are actually narrower. So let me show you what a new one looks like. So before you buy a new one, you can actually do some of these tests yourself, if you know what to look for. So anyway, here's the new pickup. A little bit more squishy. The ribs are a little bit more pronounced, not by much, but a little bit better condition. The most important part about this, I can feel already that it moves slower, it drags a little bit more, and you see it moving in and out, again, look at that gap right there. You can see it in, out, right? So let's pull this brand new one, which you shouldn't have to do, but we'll pull this brand new one apart so that you have some readings. All right, let's see what this one measures. 4.47. Yep, 4.47. Let's see what the bore measures. 4.49. So 0.02 millimeters. I'm turning it to try to get the biggest reading I can. Yeah. So is that 0.02? So that's what you're looking for. You really don't want a whole lot of play inside that bore, because if you have the play, it's not going to pick up and, you know, siphon the oil properly or pump the oil, right? And then on top of all that, this pin is actually going to make this plunger go in and out more than normal, you know what I mean? Or more than the other ones. So you see how much that one's moving? Let's see that groove right there that's worn in there? That just means that it's not going to grab like it wants to or it needs to. It's moving some. It is a little bit on the loose side though, which means it's not going to have full motion. See this one here, I've got that much play just on the pin. And then of course the body itself is also moving. So it's not held in place with this clip very well. This one's solid. So this one, I might be able to get a little bit of use out of it, but again, it's right there on that tolerance level. So just a cheap micrometer and do some quick checks. You should be able to look at it and see, you know, is this thing leaking oil? And then, see it's kind of snug going in there. It should line up with a hole in there. Okay. This one slides on a little bit easier, and it is not quite as soft as this one. So anyway, it needs a vacuum. It's not, I mean, this little thing's doing a whole lot of work for, you know, its design. It doesn't have really a check valve in it more than that plunger design. So easy way to check to see, you know, why it's not oiling. The other thing is making sure that this this spring, you know, that this passageway is not clogged, and then making sure that this vent tube right here, that's actually a straw that goes down into the tank. Make sure that it's clear, and the oil pump is going to drop right into here and just get stabbed right back into there. Should be a nice snug fit. There we go. Now she's oiling. The oil's kind of running down the case right here. She's oiling now. Anyhow, that's how you fix the oiler. Hope you all got something out of the video. Really appreciate you hanging out. Catch you on the next one.